This is the spoiler dance. There are spoilers in this video. Welcome back, I'm John, I'm Not So Odd. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Castlevania Season 3 because it came out on Thursday and I binged all of it Thursday morning like a lonely weirdo who has nothing better to do with his time. You're gonna notice a little oddish on my right here, and this is a gift from my friend Marissa and Christian. They got it for me for my birthday and I really love it, so thank you guys so much, really appreciate it. Altogether, there are 4 major storylines going on in Castlevania Season 3. There are Alucard story, which is about him teaching 2 new students how to be monster hunters. Alucard's story is very short and very straight to the point. At the end of his story, he ends up killing the 2 Japanese kids who are trying to become monster hunters because they don't trust him and he doesn't trust them, and they end up trying to kill him after getting him into bed. So he ends up impaling both of their bodies and leaving them on display, much in the same way Vlad the Impaler, aka Dracula, his dad, used to do. And the story ends with him becoming more and more like his dad as he becomes isolated in the castle. In Trevor and Sypha's story, they go to a village and discover the mystery of the cult of Dracula there that's trying to revive Dracula. They caught a night creature and the night creature is giving them information. So this night creature was created by Isaac, and Isaac's greatest will is to bring back Dracula. And as you know, night creatures that are forged by devil forge masters are tied to the will of those who created them. So this night creature gets the cult of Dracula to help him open up a portal into hell, basically. And there they almost bring back Dracula. They come this close, but with the help of this guy named Saint Germain, who's the time traveler from the Castlevania series, they are able to close the portal, and then Saint Germain is able to redirect the portal to go where he actually wants to go, which is to visit a lost loved one or something like that. The whole point of Trevor and Sypha's story is to introduce 2 concepts. Saint Germain is a character and a time traveler, and that Dracula can be resurrected and pulled back from hell in some way, shape, or form. Also, the story ends on this really bitter note because they find out the leader of the village who was helping them fight against the cult of Dracula was actually himself murdering children. In many ways, Trevor and Sypha's story is very similar to Alucard's story in that it ends in despair. However, I felt like they took way too long to get to the point of what Trevor and Sypha's story was. We spent way too much screen time with them, like, running around the village and talking to people. Like, it felt like you were watching an RPG play out where the main character was running around talking to NPCs. So now we get to where the meat of the story is, which is Hector and Isaac's story. Hector's story takes place in Styria, where he's captured by Carmilla, and he's introduced to her 3 other vampire generals / allies who she refers to as her sisters. And the one who is slowly but surely indoctrinating him with Stockholm Syndrome is the one named Lenore. At the end of Hector's story, Lenore is able to trick him by getting him into bed and then getting him to swear allegiance to her and swear that he will forever obey her. And while he's making this oath to her, she slips a ring onto his finger that's a magic ring that apparently binds him to his word and binds him to her. Then Lenore proceeds to give 3 other rings of the same type to her sisters and says, as long as we're all bound to this ring, Hector has to listen to us. So it all works out. Carmilla has control of Hector and is able to raise her army as she sees, so that's set up for the next season. Then we go into Isaac's story. Isaac's story is probably the most action-packed, I think, or from watching it, Isaac got a lot of screen time. He really hated humanity in Season 2 when he was introduced, and here we get to see him be surprised by humanity. When a handful of humans he meets on his journey to Styria are surprisingly really nice and humane to him, now there's actually people treating him like a human being and realizing that he has worth. And that's a really good thing for him because he was really done with humanity, and these people helped him in spite of the fact that he was out to destroy all of humanity. And obviously he's trying to kill Hector now. He's trying to get to Styria to kill Hector. That's his whole thing. Ultimately, you don't feel like his goals are his own. He's still trying to avenge Dracula. You kind of get an inkling of the fact that maybe he's going to become his own person. Maybe he's going to give up on all the avenge Dracula stuff. But then at the end of it, you're kind of left with this. Is he going to avenge Dracula and go to Styria? Is he going to follow his own path? What's Isaac really going to do? But it seems like he's leaning more towards going to Styria. He now has a magic mirror, a distance mirror. He now has the means to go to Styria and start war. So I watched a lot of other reviews, like more professional reviews by bigger YouTubers and obviously like company controlled channels like IGN before I made my own review because I wanted to see what they were saying before I got on here and told you about all my disappointments. A lot of these big review sites actually gave Castlevania Season 3 a really good glowing review. They said that it was a very character-driven story and like plot took a back seat to character. And I do have to agree with that, but that kind of upset me a little bit. I was kind of looking for more plot-heavy things. Like, I was looking to get the ball rolling on everything Season 2 left off on. And instead it was a very character-driven arc, and we got very invested in all the characters. So they were able to introduce us to this very large cast and make us feel things about every single member of this cast. Carmilla's vampire sisters, I have to say, are like the real stars of the show. It's like you are very invested in these people and what they're gonna do and what they're gonna think. They're actually really personable, really likable characters, even though they're generals in Carmilla's war. Something I do have to agree with that I saw in all of the other reviews was that the void of Dracula, the lack of his presence, really left a hole in the series. It kind of left you feeling like there is no big bad. They're setting up Carmilla and her team to be the new big bads, but it's just like they spent so much time introducing Dracula and introducing his motivations. You actually really felt for Dracula when he died at the end of Season 2. So in this season, when they came this close to bringing him back at the end, like you were almost hoping he came back from the dead. But then if he was brought back from the dead, then the Season 1 and Season 2 build-up would have been for absolutely nothing. Overall, this season left me feeling very disappointed, like I mentioned before. But that's primarily because of the fact that I felt Trevor and Sypha's story could have been a lot shorter. I want better things for Isaac, and this season kind of didn't fully deliver on that for me. I still feel like he isn't his own character. I still feel like he is, for the most part, Dracula's will at this point in time, and I really want to see him become his own person, make his own decisions, start truly living for himself. Everything else was okay. It was all set up for Season 4, and I guess that's what really irked me. It's 10 episodes. This is the longest season we've ever had in Castlevania 3, and it's all just set up for the future. And maybe this is me like right now, and maybe when it all comes down the line and I look at it as a bigger picture, it'll be really amazing and I'll be really grateful for this season. And I'm not gonna knock that. All I have for now is really high hopes, and Season 3 kind of dashed my hopes because after Season 2, all the big plot events and all the big happenings and actions, I was expecting so much more out of the season. But at the same time, like I said, I'm open to the possibility of the future being greater and this being build up for an amazing Season 4/Season 5. But in the meantime, I'm John and I'm not so odd. Please in the comments, leave me your opinions about Castlevania if you watched it. If you haven't, I seriously recommend picking up Season 1. It's only 4 episodes long. Definitely get out there and watch it. It's on Netflix. Thank you for watching today, and bye.